Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio. So today, I am bringing you round one from the Sutton Coldfield League Challenge. This is very exciting, ladies and gentlemen. It is a post-rotation league challenge. Steam Siege is legal, so this is really your first opportunity to see how the new format is going to look. You should pay great attention to these games. I've got a few coming up over the next few days. And you need to be watching these, ladies and gentlemen, because this is your first chance to have a really good look at how the post-rotation standard format is going to work. We are playing single game. We are in standard format here, which is Primal Clash onwards. On the left, we have Will Bate. He is going to be playing Vespiquen Zebstrika. And on the right, we have Tamao Cameron. He is the UK national champion, and he's going to be playing Mega Gardevoir. And that is one of the decks we have been wanting to see in action. So I personally, and the lovely Ben Rollison recorded this for me, I haven't seen this yet, and I am very excited to see it. So Tamao starts off with a Hooper, and that is a bad starter. First of all, and he has nothing and just has to pass. That is not good at all, ladies and gentlemen. He passes straight away, and he just lets Will have the first go there, and that's not good. And the other thing about starting Hooper, of course, not only is it a bad starter, although he does have the floatstone to allow him to retreat it, but you play Hooper for that ability Scoundrel Ring that allows you to search for any free EXs and put them onto into your hand and then use them, etc. Now, the problem is that with Tamao not being able to, if he starts with a Hooper, he's not able to use an Ultra Ball to grab the Hooper, which means he's not going to be able to search for all his Gardevoirs. So a very poor start from Tamao here. This is absolutely not what he was looking for. Now, we do see an Ultra Ball coming down from Will here. He's got a Blitzel in the active position, and it looks like he's gone for a Comb. No, he's got an Unknown, sorry. He's got a Combee on the bench, and he's going for an Unknown. Unknown, of course, having the ability Farewell Letter, which allows you to discard the Unknown and draw a card. He's playing Vespiquen. Vespiquen has the attack Be Revenge. For a double colorless energy, you do 10 damage plus 10 for each Pokemon in your discard pile. Nice and simple. So you want the most number of Pokemon in your discard pile so you can do the greatest number of damage. And as I say that, I realise I'm being an idiot. Be Revenge does 20 plus. I've played Vespiquen a lot. It's 20 plus 10 for each Pokemon in the discard. So he plays a Sycamore there, a nice aggressive supporter. We saw he discarded an N from his hand earlier. But, if you're going to play a Sycamore, you don't need the N. It is an aggressive way to play. Oh, he doesn't have much here. Just a Blitzel and a Combee. And this is opening up the door for Tamao. So he's got the Gardevoir there, the lovely secret rare Gardevoir. And there's a Hex Maniac, which means that until the end of Will's turn, there will be no abilities. So we see an Acrobite coming down. He gets to look at the top two cards of his deck, grab one and discard one. He's got to grab the Vespiquen there. Grabs a Vespiquen, evolves it up, discards the Acrobite, evolves a Zebstrika. He's got no energy. Now, he has got a Shaman in hand, but he can play a couple of cards and then maybe play the Shaman, or he can just play a Versus Seeker. Problem is, if he plays a Versus Seeker, does he discard his entire hand with a Sycamore, or does he play an N? The thing is, he knows Tamao has nothing. Tamao has just played a Hex Maniac. Tamao's not been drawing an awful lot of cards. So if Will goes ahead and plays an N here, then he's not going to allow, he's going to give Tamao a hand refresh. Another secret rare Gardevoir. Tamao showing off the bling there, as the kids might say. And Zebstrika there is able to do Crashing Bolt. 50 damage, plus 60 if there's a fighting resistance, which there isn't. Now, the reason Will didn't play the Shaman on the previous turn was because of Tamao's Hex Maniac. I was popping that down as an option. I should have said it's an option for next turn. It might be a reason why he would play... not play the Shaman, not play the Versus Seeker, and just wait for a turn, essentially. Now, I think they're having a conversation as to whether Pokemon Ranger turns off Hex Maniac. It doesn't. Pokemon Ranger turns off the effects of attacks other than damage. So, things like Seismitoad's Quaking Punch and the Trainer Lock from there, etc. And Tamao still has nothing here. Another Crashing Bolt does another 50. There is an Unknown and a Klefki going down there. Oh, and straight away... Oh, Tamao didn't play a Hex Maniac last turn, sorry. So, this is what I was saying about a couple of turns ago there. Will is emptying his hand, trying to draw something with that Shaman. He's doing all right at the moment. The problem is, even another Crashing Bolt isn't going to KO that Gardevoir. Gardevoir's got 170 HP, so as it stands at the moment, there isn't a KO coming down. Unless, of course, he's got enough Pokemon in the discard to get a KO with Bee Revenge. Gardevoir's got 170 HP, which means he would have to do 70 more. 20 plus 10 for each Pokemon in the discard means he needs 5 Pokemon in the discard. And he's used 2 Unknown and a Klefki. And we can see a Zebstrika, so he's probably got enough. But of course, he's yet to find the double colourless energy for that Vespiquen that he's going to need to use Bee Revenge and get the KO. And he doesn't get it. There's no energy there. Tamao is getting another turn here to maybe draw into something. And Tamao's deck, he's going to be getting a KO basically every turn here. So as soon as he gets rolling, he is going to run through Will's deck quite quickly. And Will is going to be needing to do one-hit KOs on Mega Gardevoir, who's got 210 HP. That's 19 Pokemon in the discard pile. So this is what this matchup really comes down to. Can Tamao start one-hit KOing all of Will's low HP Pokemon using Mega Gardevoir, which does 110 damage, and you can discard as many Pokemon as you like from your bench. It does 10 more for each one discarded, although you don't have to discard any to KO a Vespiquen, and you don't have to discard any to KO a Zebstrika, and you only have to KO one, or discard one from the bench to KO a Shaman. Now there comes the Spirit Link, but he still has no supporter. Oh, I like this play here. Lysander's up the Shaman, forcing Will to have an energy to retreat the Shaman in order to get it out the active. Although, if Will has a double colourless energy here, he can actually Sky Return with the Shaman, which would do enough damage to KO the Gardevoir and get the KO while taking the Shaman off of the field, taking an easy 2-prize knockout away from Tamao. So if he's got a double, and he does hit the double colourless, so Sky Return here would be a wonderful play, get the KO on the Gardevoir, and at this stage Tamao really is in trouble. I was looking forward to seeing this Mega Gardevoir deck. Like I said, the lovely Ben Rollison did record this for me. I wasn't actually at the tournament, so I have no idea how these games are going. I am watching these for the very first time. It's like I'm commentating them live, which is of course the best way to do so. Oh, and it looks like Tamao is in trouble here. There are 3 Vespiquen. Remember, Forest of Giant Plants allows you to evolve Combee whenever you darn well feel like it. There's 3 Vespiquen on the field. There's a double colourless attached to the active. There's a whole bunch of Pokemon in the discard. We saw an Unknown there with a Farewell Letter, drawing into a second Unknown, which gets discarded for a second Farewell Letter. Now, if there are enough Pokemon in the discard pile here, and there's just a Klefki, which could have been big in this matchup. Klefki's ability allows you to attach it to a Pokemon as a tool, just for a single turn. It gets discarded at the end of the turn. But then it gains immunity from Mega Pokemon, which would have been really useful against a primarily Mega deck. But Tamao's just never got set up. And he still needs 2 energy on that Mega Gardevoir on the bench, and I don't know. I mean, maybe he plays Mega Turbo, which allows him to attach an energy from his discard pile to a Mega Pokemon. But that's what it's going to take here. If he's got an energy and a Mega Turbo, maybe. But then again, we can see... Oh, he's got a Lysander. He uses Versus Seeker to grab a Lysander. Now, he doesn't have enough yet. What's that? That's 160. Which means he's got 14 Pokemon in the discard pile. And he's actually got a very, very thin deck there. But then, of course, every time Tamao takes a knockout, that's 2 more Pokemon in the discard pile, which means that Will is going to be getting closer and closer to one-hit KOing a Mega. And I don't think at this stage Tamal's got much of a comeback in him. Even if he dropped an Energy and a Mega Turbo, which he hasn't, he's passed a turn, he would just get KO'd straight away anyway, and he didn't have a spare Gardevoir on the bench. So now he puts up the Hooper. If he hasn't got a basic this turn, he just passes. He has got a Shaman. And like I say, Tamal is an excellent player. Well, according to last season, he is the best player in the UK. He was the UK national champion. He won, what we presume is going to be the last ever UK national championships. This format, as I said in a previous video, we're getting continental championships, one for the whole of Europe, and nationals are a thing of the past. So Tamal will, unless something changes, forever be the final UK national champion. But in this game, he's just not had an awful lot of luck. He pops a Skyfield in play there. He plays a Shaman. Maybe. Now, the hope for Tamal here is a KO, although I don't know how he gets a KO. I mean, you'd have to hit two Max Elixirs in order to, attack with regular Gardevoir, free energy, 120 damage. But unless he's got some Max Elixirs, look at the top 6 cards of your deck, if you find a basic energy there, you may attach it to one of your benched basic Pokemon. Unless he plays and hits 2 Max Elixir, he just doesn't really have any way to get a KO. Now, he does Lysander the Zebstrika into the active, just trying to get something rolling here. But it has a retreat cost, whereas all the Vespiquen have free retreat. So he pays a retreat cost. Now, there is a very... Oh, and there goes there's a Lysander for the Shaman, for the KO, for the win for Will. There was a small hope for Tamal there. What he could have done was, if Will only got a single prize KO, then what Tamal could have done there was... Will goes down to 1 prize. Tamal could have played an N to put Will down to 1 card in his hand, maybe got a Mega Gardevoir the following turn, put Will down to a single card, take the knockout on the Vespiquen, and then Will would have had no energy on the field and 3 double colourless in the discard, or at least 2, with his special charge that recovers them gone. That would have been an option. That was Tamal's only way to win, but it is, of course, a completely moot point, given that Will played the Lysander to get the KO on Tamal Shaman. So a slightly anticlimactic game 1. We didn't see Mega Gardevoir do what it meant to do. I wish that had been Tamal's turn 1 we just saw there. We could have had a game. It would have been better. But this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Some games are thrilling, some games aren't. You're getting the real experience. Now, you know the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Click that like button. Click that subscribe button. Make any comments you wish to make. I've got 5 games from this tournament, and they're going to be going up pretty much daily. We've got daily videos for the next week or 2, so check back every day for a new video and enjoy yourselves. And, of course, the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.